16 Freeman.
Speech thing. Our first hearing is, I should still, because we are, okay. Pursuant to Chapter 20, the Acts of 2021, this meeting will be conducted in person and as a courtesy via remote means in accordance with the applicable law. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting hearing will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast unless required by law. Public input shall be limited to statements from public relating to any issues with the jurisdiction of the Chelmsford Board of Appeals that are not currently the subject of a pending public hearing before the Board of Appeals. Public comment on any pending public hearing shall only be heard during such public hearings. And I don't think it matters. That's okay. Our first hearing is 16 Freeman Road, Jeff Ansel, looking for a variance under Section 195.8, nonconformity, and/or Section 195.9, conformity to construct an attached single-car garage that will not meet the side setback and any other relief that may be deemed necessary. The parcel is in the Residential B District. Good evening. Someone here to speak from Mr. Ansel?
Yes.
You just have your name and address for the record?
My name is Jeff Hansel, 16 Freeman Road.
And why don't you walk us through what you have in mind there, Jeff?
So we're proposing putting a single garage on the right side. The doors and the driveway are all aligned on the right side, so it makes it difficult to put a garage anywhere else. And there's also ledge on the left side of the house, which we found out a few months back, which is the reason why the house is kind of extra aligned to the right side of the property. So that's what we're looking to do.
And you're at 12 by, is that 45?
Yeah. And that, I mean, I'm happy to make modifications to that. That's not, certainly not set in stone.
I did look at it earlier. It's really tough to go smaller than 12, which is the number.
Yeah, I'm talking more about the length, but
But I don't
yeah,
quite
12
know
feet
how,
is kind of the minimum for the width.
Now, is this a pre-existing non-conforming lot?
Yes, as far as I know.
Because 12 and 11 is just 23.2. And on the back, it'd be even worse. We don't have, it'll be 12 and 9, 21.
And the porch is 20.2, the front.
Plus the house is older.
20.2 and 22.2 versus 25. Well, is Freeman the front?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Right, right.
Does any of the board have any questions?
I do. I did drive by there, and I noticed you had quite a bit of room on the left, and the lot's almost rectangular, and a little bit of ledge. That's not such a bad thing when you're building a garage. Might save some concrete or something.
I think that would create some additional hardship because the ledge primarily is on the left. That's why the house is already jiggered to the right.
Well, are you going to put a basement under the garage?
That's to be determined. I'm not sure. We haven't done the full plans yet.
Oh,
Kinda waiting to
okay,
see what we
basement
can-
under the garage.
You know, I
Yeah.
do have a fairly detailed letter that I'll read
Okay.
in. Maybe it'll explain some of the
Yeah.
things. This is from Mr. Hansel. To the Board of Appeals, I respectfully requesting the setback variance in order to build a very moderate one-car attached garage at our home. I've spoken to my neighbors who are all supportive of the project and the setback variance I am requesting. There is no public detriment created in any way. I am requesting a setback variance for the following reasons. Adherence to the ordinance would create a substantial hardship to my family. Owing to circumstances relating to the soil conditions, shape, or topography of the land or structures, and especially affecting such land structures but not affecting generally the zoning district in which it is located, a literal enforcement of the provisions of this law would invoke substantial hardship, financial or otherwise. Soil conditions. There is ledge on the left side of our house, which creates a unique hardship to our property. The ledge is likely the reason our house is aligned to the right of the lot to begin with. Topography. There's a stream at the far end of the property, so a garage cannot go behind our sunroom as it will be too close to the water. The backyard has a significant 4-foot drop, which creates an additional hardship specific to the topography. The shape of the lot is oddly shaped with the property lines going diagonal. The far end of the lot is wider than the front end, which makes it impossible to reasonably improve upon the property. Placement of the house on the lot. The house, doors, and driveway are all aligned to the right side of the lot because of the ledge on the left side, which necessitates a variance on the right side in order to add a garage. Request would not propose a substantial detriment to the public. The proposed structure will conform to the neighborhood look and feel and will not present any harm to the community. Most homes in the neighborhood have a garage on the right side already. Our home is one of the few homes in the neighborhood without a garage. I've spoken at great length with my neighbors. All of them have no issues with the proposed garage and the setback variance. All of our neighbors have indicated that adding a garage to our home will be aesthetically pleasing, would improve our street, and would not present any public detriment in any way. And they have expressed their full support. You have letters from your neighbors?
Yes.
Good. This request does not go against the purpose of the ordinance. The requested variance does not nullify or substantially derogate from the intended purpose of the bylaw. The proposed addition will have no effect on any abutter. The proposed addition will improve the street and area and not alter the essential character of the neighborhood, nor be detrimental in the public welfare. In summary, I am proposing to construct, maintain, and use a moderate garage addition that will encroach into the required minimum side yard setback and require a variance to accomplish this. We love this neighborhood and this town and seek to improve our home and improve our street and community. We do not intend to alter the essential character of the neighborhood, nor be detrimental to the public welfare. My family and I thank you for your attention and consideration and look forward to completing this project in a manner amicable to the town of Chelmsford. Thank you for your consideration. Respectfully submitted, Jeffrey Hansel. Long letter.
Very well written, though.
Yes.
I hit-
One template and the signatures.
Hit all the,
Okay.
Are you a lawyer?
No, no.
So I have a letter, that we do not have addresses. I am in a butter to Jeff and Julie Hansel at 16 Freeman Road. They've shared their plan with me to add a garage to their house, and I have no issues with the plan. I'm writing this letter in support of their requested variance, and I believe the proposal will not have a negative impact on the area, and the intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw will be met. I have Henry,
I can't read the last name.
18 Freeman Road.
I can't read the last name.
I can look it up.
Yep, I can look that up too.
Who is the abutter to the left, the one directly impacted?
Actually, that's it.
That's to the right, actually.
Oh, sorry.
To the right?
Yeah,
Number 18.
that's the letter you just read.
Troy
Okay.
Henry, Choik, C-H-E-O-K.
And then we have
C-H-E-O-K. Sure.
Mike.
They're actually here.
Michael Drive.
Oh, Mike Havener, 7 Noble Drive.
Mhm.
Must have bought you from the backside.
Yep, he's diagonally behind us. And then there's the neighbor across the street.
McNulty,
No,
20 Freeman Road.
18.
To the Board of Appeals, I'm in a butter of Julie and Jeff Hansel at 16 Freeman Road. They have shared this plan with me to add acreage.
Be nice to add acreage.
Oh, to add a garage to their house. It's just hard to read. I have no issues with the plan. I'm writing this letter in support of their requested variance and believe that they will not have a negative impact on the area. Mr. and Mrs. Edward McNulty. And I have another letter from Janet Mooney, 15 Freeman Road. I'm in a butter to Jeff Hansel at 16 Freeman Road. Jeff has shared his plan with me, and I have no issues with his plan. I am writing this letter in support of his requested variance, and I believe his proposal will not have a negative impact on the area, and the intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw will be met. Janet Mooney. Those are the letters from neighbors, all in support. I have a letter from the Chelmsford Fire Prevention Office. Dear members of the board, this office has reviewed the proposed addition at 16 Freeman Road and finds the following. As part of this project, a heat detector shall be installed in the garage bay. There must be a combination smoke carbon monoxide detector present that is interconnected with heat detectors within 20 feet of the door of the garage. All installed devices shall be hardwired and shall be interconnected with the existing home's fire protection. All smoke detectors and other life safety devices shall be marked on the plan prior to submission for a building permit. This department would approve of this plan with these conditions, and I ask the board to make this letter part of their approval process. Respectfully, Danielle Kostafis, Captain, Chelmsford Fire Department. This is from the Building Department, Jose Negron, Building Commissioner, 16 Freeman Road, garage addition denial. Please receive this letter as a denial to your proposed garage addition at the above regarded address, as you do not meet the 25-foot side setback requirements. You can appeal this decision within 30 days of receiving this notice to the Town of Chelmsford Board of Appeals. Respectfully, Jose Negron. I have a no comment from the Health Department, no comment from the Police Department, and no comments from the Center Water District. That is the extent of my letters.
So have you had a soil test or some kind of topography study done to verify if there's ledge on the?
I haven't had a soil test, but what I have done, I've spoken to the neighbors. I know that there is ledge in the area, and I've dug down and found it myself.
Okay.
I brought some pictures with me as well. It's always fun when you get those nice big bald spots in your lawn and you figure out why that's happening. Now I know.
Ledge, yeah.
Yeah.
And is the kitchen and everything to the right-hand side of the home?
It is,
Yeah,
yeah.
so everything's right there where you enter, yeah.
Yeah, the bedrooms are on the left side.
Left
so,
side, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And why can't you put it to the left of the, or right of the porch as you're facing it?
To the right of which porch?
The porch. If you're looking at, facing the porch to the right of it?
That is where we're talking about putting it.
No,
You mean towards the back of the house, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's where the sunroom is, and behind that is the brook, and there's a pretty steep grade back there.
His letter says that there's a stream that runs through the backyard.
There's a stream, so we would be getting too close. That's probably a conservation.
Yeah, it would fall within conservation.
So this really is the only spot that it can go, unfortunately.
Can you pull up the conservation mark?
One second. So can you see where it's green towards the bottom? It's a little tricky here, and it's not letting me zoom in for some reason.
Because normally you can put in the,
It's not letting me zoom in even more, but this area right here,
Right, the area in green is the wetlands, and then what they have is a 50-foot
50-foot,
buffer.
yep.
Yeah,
And
we would-
assuming that it was, I think you might adjust the size if it went in the back. Even if it was 24 feet back from the house, you need 10 feet for clearance, and then,
There'd be
Well,
no
it
way that we
depends
would meet
if
that
this
better.
is-
It's just hard to, it's hard to tell distance from that picture. I mean, that picture looks like you have
Perennial.
300 feet. I mean, that would,
Yeah, I wish that were the case.
right, that's what I'm saying. It's hard to see from that flat
I understand.
image,
Yeah,
you know, because from, looking from that, yeah, I mean, I understand conservation, but I mean,
right. No, I
you could have 3 football fields back there.
that would be awesome if that were the case. Maybe a
Right?
maybe an ice rink too.
any further questions from the board? Being none, I'll go into the audience and see if anyone would like to speak in favor or opposition to this application. And if you do, just approach the podium and give us your name and address.
Henry Chubb, and we are at the 18 Freeman, so it's just next to Jeff. So first, I want to apologize. Actually, sorry. Actually, we when we actually the one that being supportive signed the letter to be, you know, supportive to get the garage going. But I guess we not fully actually understand the plan at that point, and also the side setback. So I guess when we get the letter from you guys from the rejection, then we start actually going detail into the plan. So we realize that there's actually quite close to our bedroom side. So, and that is not like missing by few feet. It's probably like 10, 15 feet apart. So actually, that will probably impact our bedroom side of the my kid basically is on the bedroom side. I think that will probably impact us quite a bit than what we originally thought is. So even though we, you know, agree they should get a garage, but I would hope that they could, you know, have any alternative way to solve the problem. And then that's the first, I think, the way that impact us. And also, I think it's quite close to the fence. So we, actually the fence actually already put on our side, our property line. So we were actually thinking when there's construction going on, there might be more impact during the construction because it's really close to our property. And then the other thing, actually, also we actually get some feedback from neighbor, you know, saying that there's a concern that if we open up that variance, there might be, you know, more coming. So that's why I want to kind of speak up, you know, where we coming from to why we signed that letter, and then why we.
You've changed your mind.
Yes. I think we still be supportive, but I think we want to be doing like a little differently, that not impacting
Encroaching as
us
far onto your property.
or, you know, impact the whole community. So I mean, we're definitely actually not being considerable when we, you know, actually issue that letter without fully, you know, understand the whole impact.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that just our, you know, we want to
Or the
express
garage,
that.
just not there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
But we would be happy to, you know, work with our neighbors to make it, make it reasonable.
It's
So
very
that-
important about it, obviously.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, would you like to consider withdrawing and talk with him about how you could create a space that he's amiable to? I gotta say, I'm not sure it would have flown anyways. I mean, it's really tight. And I haven't made any decision yet, but I find it's very snug.
Can you, am I reading this like, so, am I, like conservation, right? So, and I know we're concerned about this here.
Right,
See how this is,
the topography?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And,
The topography would slope down into the wetland.
but right, I'm just wondering if, how true is this
How accurate is it?
marked for closeness? I mean, I guess having a better understanding of how much is limited on his property as far as what it is, so he
Yeah,
has
I
a
didn't
better
get-
understanding of what he can use.
I didn't get departmental comments from conservation on this one, but it's certainly something that either way would be taken into consideration. Even if you were to get an approval, you would want to make
course.
sure with conservation that you're not within their jurisdiction.
Or
Absolutely.
maybe you
That's-
have more to the rear of your property to
Right.
use that.
Based on what
I
type
don't
of
think so.
wetland that is, which I can't tell from here.
So I think there's 10 feet on either side of the brook that you can't.
What's that?
I think there's 10 feet on either side of the brook that you can't even go anywhere near that.
Okay.
25.
Well, there's a 50-foot buffer zone,
Right, I'm aware of that, yeah.
yeah.
But normally the
But-
overlays
You can-
on our
you
GIS
can
map
build
show
in the
us,
buffer
and it's
zone.
not shown.
You
That's
can't
what I'm
build
saying.
in the 25-foot two
I'm wondering
wetland
if maybe
point.
there's,
Okay.
it's not what
Yeah.
we think it is there.
But if he were to do that, wouldn't he would still have to extend his driveway
Right,
over to go, he would have to
The
extend his
the
driveway to go
driveway
like
can go
around
up
the
to your
side of the
property
house.
line. That's perfectly legal,
He
and
would
he
have
does
to
not
just
need
extend it
permission.
over and go around. But
It's,
he, like, the back of the house already butts out into the back too, so yeah, that's pretty,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not ideal, of course. I think the solution proposed is very challenging.
Driving
yeah,
down,
we're trying to,
making a left
do something that
drive
makes everyone
to the
happy, that
garage.
And I
Opposed to
appreciate
having
that.
a
I know
garage
you've
up to the
been
it's not an
neighbors
easy
is
position for anyone to be in.
definitely
My
more
suggestion would
visible.
be to withdraw and look at your options
It's a sunroom.
with your direct
Turn
abutter
it into
in
a
mind.
mudroom
And
entrance.
maybe you can have the conversation and explain what you're doing, and he's okay with it, or you can find a way to, I mean, we can vote. I just don't know that, it would be favorable. I don't know what the vote would be, but it's really close.
No, I realize that, and of course, we would make sure that there's no impact to our neighbors in any way, during construction or anything like that. I mean, we're always conscious of our neighbors, and we want to be good community members. Having vegetation as a buffer, things like that. I mean, there's certainly some alternatives,
There
some things
certainly
that
is, yeah.
some things that we could discuss and come up with.
And there's-
that
we
might-
have
that
any
might make
type of
everyone
building plan or
everyone
anything,
happy.
so-
Not at
Just
this
the
point, he
front, yeah.
doesn't know, but it's basically
Yeah.
a single
What's that?
stall garage, 45 feet long.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to suggest we either postpone it for a month, or you can withdraw it and talk with him and see what makes more sense. I would have a very hard time knowing that your direct abutter is in opposition to it, simply because he's most dramatically affected by it.
Of course.
I don't know if you want to, we can vote, we can postpone it for a month.
No, I think that it makes sense to postpone it if they have concerns, which clearly I wasn't aware of.
I understand that,
Until
and
now,
I think that
if-
they were educated as they went, and
If they have concerns,
the
then
initial reaction was to be a
Yeah.
good neighbor, and then as they saw
I mean,
it,
the last thing I think anybody wants to do is try to do something that somebody doesn't want, especially somebody that lives next to you. You want to maintain a good relationship. I mean, I like these guys. They're nice.
Yep.
They're nice
Yep.
people. So
No, I think it was just
And
a
I-
matter
and I
of, as you
respect-
get more understanding, it became
Yeah.
concerning.
yeah, if we could postpone this, that would be good, and then give us a chance to try to hash things out or not, and
Okay, yeah,
we'll go from there.
so we'll go to the October meeting,
October 6th.
is that what it is? The public hearing is still open, so we'll just pick up where we left off. And,
Okay.
We're going to continue this for a month and give the applicant an opportunity to try to work on creating a design that's suitable for everybody, yourself included.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Just to make sure that people are in favor.
We didn't close the public hearing.
No, I didn't say you did, but we need a motion to continue.
Yeah,
I'll make a motion to postpone,
but continue till,
to continue the
October
variance for
6th.
16 Freeman Road to the next meeting on October 6th.
A second.
second, all in favor?
Right.
Thank you.
Oops.
Our next hearing is 55 Turnpike Road. Joseph Bascoli, I hope I got that right, for a variance under section 195.8, nonconformity, and/or section 195.9, conformity, to construct an addition in existing home and any other relief that may be deemed necessary. Parcel is in a residential B district.
Mr. Flannery.
Big guns.
He's like a staple up here.
I'm just going to read this narrative.
That'd be lovely, thank
Would you
you.
like to read it, Mr. Flannery?
No, you have such a fine voice, I think you should do it.
Thank you. Joseph Viscotti, who owns and resides at 55 Turnpike Road, is proposing to add a 16 by 14-foot 9 bedroom and bath to his existing house. is to be attached to another addition that was approved by the Zoning Board of Appeals in 2018 that needed relief because of insufficient side yard. He's seeking relief for this addition since it is 17-foot 9 from the side lot in an RB zoning district that requires a 25-foot setback. The shape of the lot and proximity to an access and utility easement was recognized by the board in 2018 to be a hardship.
Excellent.
Could you read that again, Brian? What did you just say?
It's in your
The
packet.
whole thing, or just the?
No,
land?
just the last sentence.
So he is seeking relief for his addition since it is 17-foot 9 from the side lot in an RB zoning district that requires a 25-foot setback. The shape of the lot and proximity to an access and utility easement was recognized by the board in 2018 to be a hardship.
Okay.
So let me just
Thanks.
pull up just to
Yeah.
give you an idea of the lot itself, and I'm gonna pull up the plot plan.
Visually impaired.
All kinds of TVs going on now.
There's a plot plan somewhere.
That's coming up.
Well, this will have to do.
I'm visually impaired. I
Wrong
need
one.
the big
Excuse
stuff.
me a second. Pulled up the wrong one.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to share it with
The, I have some floor plans that Bob McCrensky from Hancock Builders has done.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, the shape is.
I can hand them down. That's
I'm going to zoom in so you can all see the detail on it, but just so you can see the lot shape. The easement that was referred to in the narrative is over here on the right side, and I'll zoom in.
So the dotted line is the easement edge, is that correct?
That's correct, yeah, yeah. And that driveway that's next to it goes to a house to the rear. Not too much to the rear either.
It's up here.
I think the strange shape came about years ago because of floodplain in the area. And
Oh, I see it.
So when the variance was granted in 2018,
yeah,
doesn't this become a pre-existing non-conforming lot?
We just went through this.
well, I don't know, because we got a variance because it became, all right, you could say it became. Yes,
So now it is one.
yes.
Now, that being the case, and we're not increasing the nonconformity, can't we just grant a special permit for this?
But doesn't this fall under the same clause we just did we granted a variance to build on this building. So we just went through this with Second Lane. We did a variance building to the lot, right? And now they want to modify the variance we just gave them and made changes to the building. So we have to go back to that variance. Isn't this pretty applicable to the thing we just went with Second Lane?
But it doesn't, yeah, it's still,
Not Second Lane, 72 Parkerville you're referring to?
Off of
Yeah,
Second.
off of Second, right.
Second Lane. It's all associated
Yeah,
with the whole Second.
That was to
Lane.
build the house on the lot, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
The
so
variance
this
was
is
to actually
different.
build-
No, but
right, the
but
variance was granted to
variance-
build the house.
The variance was for that land.
So they may indeed need to come before us,
Right.
but, and Jose, you can give me any direction you can. I think we created a non-conforming lot.
Right.
When we allowed that. Now that time has passed, even a minute, it becomes a pre-existing non-conforming.
And he's not increasing the nonconformity. So this is very similar to the case law town council brought relating to 72 Parkerville, in which, in a situation like this, they will have to come just to revise.
Right, which we can
Right.
revise the existing variance to include this. But I don't think we need to issue a variance. I think we can issue a special permit.
That is correct, yes.
We would be pleased with the special permit.
I believe that I'm,
We just have to modify
Understanding
the
that
variance
correctly.
initially issued in 2018, because that variance limits from now to eternity on that deed to your property, especially because you're changing the building of which, it's the same.
but
it's
that's
the
just
same-
by motion. We agree to,
I think it's according to what the attorney gave us for Parkerville.
We can approve
In-
that,
in the
though.
But that
Attorney, I
was trying to
believe-
basically add a variance onto an existing
Existing
variance,
variance,
right?
right.
But now we're basically gonna do a special permit onto an existing variance, I don't know.
Because we're not increasing the
Yeah.
nonconformity.
So if we're doing a special permit onto an existing variance, do we actually have to go back and modify the original
We
variance?
can't.
I believe
yes.
even when it was modifying the
have mattered,
variance,
yeah.
it was when issuing the variance and making note within that document
You have to
that
always
stated it
refer back to the
referred
next
back.
variance.
So within the special permit, I believe the same can
we
be
ju-
done as
basically
well, where we
reference it.
reference the existing variance on the
Okay.
property.
In our,
But
in
that's
our
all we'd have to
decision,
do
we
is
would
reference it.
reference
Then you're legally
the
still taking it
variance.
into account.
Right.
So that, I guess the decision is aware that there was a variance.
Mm-hmm.
But we know it and we're aware of it, and we're, with that taken into account, we would vote how we vote.
Because that variance stays with the property from now as on part of the title.
Yes.
Right, it's forever there. The variance is always there. So we just need to note that we knew the variance was there and
And that will
aware
impact
of
any
it.
future building, so this modification, I mean, that's gonna dictate too, just like that Parkerville modification.
Right. That being said, I think that we can consider this a special permit.
All right.
You gotta read some letters in if that's the
So do we
case.
have, can you pull up the 2018? Do you think
Yes, one
you
moment,
know how
please.
quick you can access or pull that, reference it?
It was actually attached to the application. I believe, hold on a second.
While you're reading.
Yeah,
It's in
here it
the,
is. It's
Is
in
it
the
an
agenda.
agenda?
Yeah,
The
I'm
last
pulling it
link.
up right now. Let me just zoom it in for you.
These are the
it's the last of all the links.
Last link, okay, thank you.
As long as there is no special condition that states
I got it.
no further construction or additions, then then these are the facts, the findings. I'll just let you read through these for a minute.
Yeah,
And then as far as the decision. One second.
Shape of the lot.
Here we go,
and
decision. No, it's just the general special condition to record the decision
right.
according to Mass General Law. So there are no special conditions attached to it.
So the motion is made, we reference the variance and. So that we're aware of it. You know, you're welcome to speak. I'm gonna read these letters in and then I'm gonna open it up to the public. Unless the board has further questions regarding this. Nope.
What's that?
This is the denial letter from Mr. Negron. Dear Mr. Roscoli, please use the letter as denial notice your proposed addition at the above regarded address. The addition does not meet the required setbacks. You can appeal this decision with the Board of Appeals within 30 days of receiving this letter. I look forward to further assist you during this process. Thank you, Jose Negron. Letter from the Chelmsford Fire Prevention Office. 55 Turnpike Road, addition. This office has reviewed the proposal for an addition at 55 Turnpike Road, finds the following. The entire home, existing new construction, shall be equipped with life safety systems as required by 780 CMR 51, standard for new construction at the time of application for a building permit. The home shall have a hardwired interconnected smoke, carbon monoxide, and heat detectors in all required locations. The applicant shall upload a plan showing all life safety devices to their building permit application. This office would approve of this addition with these conditions, and I ask that the board make this letter part of their approval process. Respectfully submitted, Danielle Kostafis, Captain, Chelmsford Fire Department. I have a letter from the Center Water District with no comments. I have a letter from the Health Department with no comments. I have a letter from the Engineering Department with no comments, and a letter from the police with no comments. Those are the letters that I have, and in support or opposition from the neighbors.
I did not receive
Okay.
any, no.
I'm going to open this up to the public, and if someone would like to speak in favor or opposition to this, now is the time. Please approach the podium and give us your name and address.
My name is Antoinette Savigny. I live at 26 Chatham Road.
Hi.
I was under the impression, and I was told by the Chelmsford Water District, that they were unaware of a meeting tonight regarding this matter. And that was on Tuesday. So now that I'm hearing now, there is no opposition. When did that opposition come in?
The no
the
comments,
water?
you
Yeah,
mean?
no comment, I'm sorry. Yep, yep.
From Central Water, it was dated August 9th.
August 9th. Oh. They said they had no idea, none whatsoever.
The signature is Richard Tonisaro, is that it?
Got me,
I think he's the,
yeah, okay.
Yeah. he's-
So on August 9th, that letter came in?
Yeah, and they
It's
just didn't
dated
have
August-
concerns. I mean, is there a well back there?
Yeah, yeah.
There's a pond back there.
There's a pond, and it's one of the access wells to our water.
Yeah, okay. So,
Comes off of Turnpike Road, and it's one of Chelmsford Water District's area, which runs behind our home, which is on the side.
can you see the locust up here? Is that your house right behind his? Is that your home?
No, those are all Turnpike Road.
Yeah, but a little farther down, I believe that's Chatham, the last one on Chatham.
We're here,
Okay,
this is ours.
yeah.
And this home
The
is
McCarthy's are right there,
Mrs.
right?
McCarthy's home.
Yeah.
She's concerned because it's so close to her pool.
I mean,
And, I mean,
setback-wise, we don't even have a comment. I mean,
The pool is closer to the
Yeah.
wetland.
they're certainly within their rights to do this as, if Chelmsford Water District doesn't have a Zone 1 problem, they don't
Yeah.
get involved. And I think that's well out of that. The barn that was constructed some time ago, I don't know how long ago.
that was the Charlie Adams.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that would
Was
be
it
something that's a
Charlie or
little close to
Henry?
the wetlands now.
Harry Adams. That was his property before
Yeah.
these 4 homes were built.
I mean, that's gonna be
So the
closer.
barn's been around forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, Harry made the pond illegally at the time he was there.
I don't know, Harry, I don't know.
Yeah,
the farm.
yeah.
There
You
for-
know?
I've been there for 43 years.
I think, Charlie, you know Harry, don't you? He doesn't, you don't want to
Yeah,
say.
Harry was a good guy.
Yeah.
When he was
That's all I
sober.
know of him.
I mean,
he
and
was,
the
uh,
McCarthy's,
he was-
my husband's lived there for over 44 years. McCarthy's have lived there, how many? 52 years. So we know exactly.
I felt your addition, didn't I? You did. I remember, I heard about your husband too, I'm very sorry to hear that.
Yeah, anyway, okay. Well, that's what it is, that's what it is.
We were just concerned that if there was any grading of the land, how it would affect that pond that's back there and who owns it. It doesn't even show up on this,
Yeah, Patrick, can you locate the pond? Are you aware of it?
Yes, I mean, it didn't make it there, but when I submitted to conservation,
Okay.
and I put it on this drawing in the back. We're scheduled for conservation in 2 weeks or so. And,
I mean, I'm sure they're gonna have some silt fence and hay bales or barrier up. So that being the assumption, I mean, would you be willing to say you'll put up a silt fence maybe across the edge of that 50-foot point if they don't require it, if they don't have concerns?
They would require that.
You think they'll require it? I mean, they got some distance there, so I'm
well,
not sure.
it's beyond the 100-foot
Yeah, it looks like it.
vegetated buffer,
So you're outside of the
but it's in what they call a riverfront area,
200-foot.
the 200-foot.
Right.
So we've applied to the conservation to take a look at that.
And it could be a river back there when it rains. That.
Oh, I bet. There's a lot of low-lying property there.
full.
Well, I think it is a river. I think it's,
If you
it's
just
considered,
approach the podium,
it's
that's
considered a river.
idea.
Is it?
Yeah, River Meadow Brook, it's considered a river.
It's,
Okay, so
That's
where
why
it's
it's a
part of
town.
it.
Right.
So in 2 weeks, this will be before conservation. And I don't know why,
If you'd like to approach your podium and get your name and address, you're certainly willing to
folks,
say
My
what you
name
need
is
to.
Rob Rochelle, I'm the homeowner. The other aspect of this is just in front of that barn, on the north side, there's actually a berm there that's several feet high. So,
Demise is out though.
right, so even if, you know, if that barn were to flood, we would need 5 more feet before it ever gets over that berm even. So it goes the other way as well. There's very little risk of runoff into that
Contaminants.
area. But again, that's something for conservation to say yay or nay to. So,
I think we can let conservation worry about the protection then, if they're gonna be in front of them.
And you can certainly put a,
I think,
the
yeah.
board can consider a special condition stating that they need to go
Ruth Ann
before
McCarthy, I
Conservation
live
Commission.
at 27 Chatham Road. I'm just concerned about, is the addition to the back of the house to one side or the other?
To the side, I'll pull that back out for you.
It's
It
to-
is,
To
there
the
you
left,
go.
left and back.
So if you were looking from Turnpike to the left side, do you see the 14.3 that's on the screen here? The 14.3? That was an addition that was built in 2018
On that house?
on their house. So
Oh,
that,
okay.
that addition exists now. And behind it, you see the dotted line that says 14, actually 9, I think. That's going to be the new addition.
Okay.
So it's in parallel with the existing one, so it won't go any farther to the left-hand side. It will go into the backyard. It looks like just a couple feet farther than their deck does now.
Oh, okay.
It's
So,
not a gigantic addition, really. It's a pretty small,
16 feet,
16 by 14.9 is the entire size of the addition.
so not significantly closer to that wetlands area than the
It's-
house is now?
I would say it's looking at it 2 to 3 feet closer
Oh.
to the wetlands.
Oh,
but-
okay.
I mean, I wouldn't think it would have any effect on it, especially considering the berm the gentleman spoke of, and that the barn would be, you know, much closer to the wetlands, but it's not going anywhere near that.
Near that area? Okay, because there's a lot of wildlife in that
Oh, I'm
area,
sure,
in addition,
sure.
you know, to, some of it welcome, some of it not so much, but just concerned about that.
It is the way it is, isn't it?
It is. Okay, thank you.
It looks like
You're
it's
very
only,
welcome.
it looks like it's only exceeding past the, how far past the deck is the new addition exceeding? 2 feet?
I don't know, it could be 2 or 3 or 4, something like that.
Right here.
Yeah, what's that distance between?
I'd say about
Oh,
four.
what's the deck, 10 feet?
There's a deck there now, so we're gonna alter the deck to fit against the side of the new addition.
Yeah, so it's
5
5
feet maybe,
feet,
yeah.
5 feet closer to the, I mean, from past the deck, it's about 5 feet, okay.
Which is 5 feet by 14, too.
Yeah, but it's still running parallel with the,
Yeah, yeah, it
so,
doesn't
but
change the,
exceeding past your current footprint, you're technically only getting 5 feet closer to the wetlands, okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Are there any other comments or concerns regarding this application? Seeing none, can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second the
Jamie
motion.
seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Think we can take this up?
And we're not encroaching any closer on the side backs, right?
That's correct,
So
and
we're
that's
not
why it can be a
changing
special
any,
permit.
we're not changing any setbacks?
No,
No?
where they're increasing, you know, the depth is increasing as they goes because it's not a parallel line.
Right, but it's not, well, they only need a special permit because they already have a variance on the property.
Correct.
In all other regards, though, there's no,
No detriment.
I can make a motion to approve the special permit for an addition to 55 Turnpike Road with consideration of all the letters received.
second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous?
Thank you
luck
very
with it.
much.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Oh, he's been in this town 180.
Oh, just There was a
Now we're on.
Okay. This is for 110 Garrison Road, Eli Waters, looking for a variance under section 195-9, conformity, and/or 195-8, nonconformity, to construct a 12 by 24 three-season addition to an existing dwelling that will not meet the front side setback and any other relief that may be deemed necessary. This property is located in the residential B district. Good evening.
How you doing?
Good. Can I get your name and address for the record?
Eli Waters, 24 Crowley Road, Chelmsford, Mass.
And maybe you can walk us through this. We'll get the plot plan up on the screen.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, while I'm waiting, I'll read the narrative that's been provided.
Thank you.
Dear zoning board members, the home is located at 110 Garrison Road, is not centered on the lot. The driveway runs down the right side of the house. The homeowners would like to add a three-season porch on footings, no foundation, to the left side of the house, but it would not conform to the setbacks. We're asking for a variance for the porch to be added. Thank you all very much for considering their hardship. Eli Waters.
Yeah, so, like I said in the letter, the house isn't centered on the lot, and it is a corner lot, and they don't want to do a three-season porch right on the front of the house to kind of take away from the curb appeal. The garage actually is, half the basement is the garage, and the driveway runs all the way down the side of the house, and it's like a walkout basement on that side with the garage door. So they can't do an addition there, and they don't want to take away anything from the backyard. They have a patio area and everything set up. So they could have a three-season porch, especially when entertaining around the holidays. So they would prefer to have it on the left side. But it doesn't conform to the setbacks due to the house, being so close to to both roads.
Currently, it's conforming.
No, it would not be.
Currently, there's a non-conforming deck.
Both roads are considered frontage, so to be conforming, it would need 40 and 40,
Oh, so we are considering two frontage.
because it's on a corner lot, right? And that, I don't think we've had too much opposition to kind of waiving the 40 and going to the 25 side on one or
Okay.
the other. But that still leaves us quite a bit short of that.
Garrison.
And to try to get to a special
Oh, yeah.
permit here would mean shrinking 2 feet off of that, which for a three-season porch, 10 would be none. The option here is probably a variance, if that is the case. Let me read the letters.
Is there, if you got any?
Is there a fence in the backyard? Like the backyard's all fenced in?
Yeah.
The Health Department has no comments. Center Water District has no comments. The Engineering Department has no comments. The police have no comments. And I have a letter here granting Eli Waters, acting and speaking on my behalf as owner of the property at 110 Garrison Road. We ask that Eli Waters act as our representative and stand before the zoning board to propose a variance request for the demolition of the existing deck, construction of 12 by 24 three-season porch in its place. Sean and Ellen Marxism, Mark Sisson, 110 Garrison Road, Chelmsford.
Oh, it's being done at 110. Sorry. read it as-
110, yeah, there's a typo somewhere.
Let me
That is the
just
actual-
clarify
At
that. I
110.
just realized that on the agenda, there was a typographical error on my part. It said 100, but the legal notice itself and the abutters notification was all based on 110. Was correct. So we don't have to backtrack on that.
Well, it says the applicant,
Yeah.
the owner, is Eli Waters
This
at
is
24
Eli Waters.
Parley Road.
Eli Waters is doing
Well, he
the
can
work.
be the
Yeah.
applicant, but he's not the owner.
No, he's the applicant as their. Jamie,
Representative.
It says applicant up top,
Yeah.
which can
Applicant,
be
owner,
the
tenant, lease
contractor
license.
or attorney, any representative. And then underneath says owner,
Yep.
Sean and Ellen at the
Yeah.
address.
Yep. I don't see that. Normally the address is right.
Did you already start this deck or anything, or?
No, we haven't. We have a permit, we just finished the kitchen, we're finishing their basement, and we were hoping to have the variance process already, a little bit further ahead, but I've had some health issues, so I'm a little bit behind. But we're wrapping up the basement and the kitchen, so, they're like, we'd really like you to stay here rather than go start another job, and then it's winter time, and you can't get the footings in. I'm like, I totally understand, so.
So what was the problem with going off the back of the house with the deck?
Going off the back of the house, they have a walkout basement door, so that would only leave the deck, and that's right below the kitchen. So it would work if it came off the kitchen, but where the walkout basement door is right there, they don't want to bury it. And then there's the bathroom and the kids' room, and they don't want to build the porch off of either the bathroom or the kids' room, understandably so.
And I don't think it would change the variance.
They'd still need it
Well,
for the
is-
rear setbacks?
They only have,
Oh, yeah,
Because
we
they
have
have the
30
two
feet.
front,
It'd
right.
have to go in well, it's
And if
already
we-
pre-existing, so.
Right.
If we did it off the
30
back,
feet.
we'd have to totally change the layout of the kitchen also, because the kitchen
And new
sink and
kitchen.
everything's facing the window going out the
Oh,
back.
okay.
We just remodeled it.
So the kitchen's to the left-hand side in the back?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So the whole
And the-
front of the house has all been cleared and everything now?
Ooh, what do you mean cleared?
I guess maybe, if you say you're doing a project now, so I guess this picture's probably not very good.
that might be, that could be years old.
Yeah.
And the
okay.
garage is to the right and underneath.
They're
the
just doing
house,
The
right?
interior
garage
work,
is the
though.
right side
And under.
basement, underneath,
So you
right,
can't, yeah.
right.
And currently, you're working interior on the house, right?
Right.
Yeah, you haven't done anything outside?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, right,
You can actually go down here.
Yeah.
So it'd be there.
right.
So you could. Yeah. So here's the,
Mm.
Like a window, yeah.
Mm.
Looks like a
here's the
back
back. So
space.
there's that door on the
You're-
back
you're-
side.
This is looking from McCormick Street.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
So that
Keep the
door coming
cameras.
out the back side to
Yeah, yeah.
face
You know what I
the
mean, the
play
angles.
yard, what
Things
door
are
is that?
further away.
That's to the basement.
That's the basement walkout door.
Okay,
Yeah,
I got it.
See it,
Yep,
yeah.
I'm right here.
and that's directly below the kitchen.
Yeah, so it really isn't.
Door there.
Yeah, yeah.
The headache we see is what do we hang our hat on? What is the reason for the variance?
We can't hang it on the placement of the house and where it is on the lot?
No. I say no.
Not according to the law.
I
That-
thought
the
house
house
placement
is-
was considered.
The house is put there, that's the end of the story. That's not a variance.
Topography, soil,
There's not
lot
a
shape,
variance.
lot size.
Well, unless the house placement is due to topography or soil, right?
Yeah, there you go.
But then it still
Which is
goes,
what we've found in the past, that that's
Right.
why the house was placed there, because of like ledge or.
but
Because
then it
of
comes to
topography.
topography. But there's your hardship, it's topography, which is dictated in the law.
I'm very comfortable considering McCormick a side lot for my own peace of mind, but we're still,
It would still need one though, even if it was a side lot, right? Oh, wait.
you still wouldn't have enough, that's correct. You need 25. There's 30 now, so you'd have 5 feet to work with. And you could get 20%, right?
Yep.
5 feet. So it
20
could be
feet.
10 feet, and we could give them a special permit. That's, any chance
20 feet.
your clients would consider a
At 20
10-foot
Um,
pre-season
Do we have
porch?
any letters? Are there any letters? No.
Or anyone speak in favor?
Any neighbors?
Well, wait,
Yeah.
wait, Brian, we can't do that because the setback's 40.
If we consider McCormick a side,
Then it's 25.
If we do,
and we get him to 20 feet, we can give him a special permit.
So just because we consider one doesn't make it one.
right,
It'd still have to be a variance.
right.
Even if we said, okay, we get that you have the unique lot problem of two frontages. That can definitely be considered
Your hardship.
a hardship. I feel it could be.
But it doesn't get him, yeah, it doesn't get him out of a variance either way, so.
Right, you can't legally just say, because you can't just go to a special permit at the side lot.
But it could
Yeah.
be that could be like a hardship, but it doesn't matter. You still need a variance.
I mean, it really doesn't matter, because either way, it's still a
You're
variance.
getting a variance.
How big is the porch gonna be?
The three-season porch is going to be 12 by 24. So it'll be the depth of the house from Garrison
280
Road
feet.
and just coming out 12 feet.
Is that pretty, like, standard for a?
I would say so, because that's where the kitchen is in the back left corner.
Yeah,
So they
for
want to
the-
be able to get into the kitchen.
Yeah.
And in the front left corner is the dining room, so they want to put like a sliding, Anderson sliding patio door there. So they could kind of, when they have company, I think things are kind of tight.
Opens it up.
So that opens it up and it can kind of circulate, you know.
Right.
And what about the 12-foot width, though? Is that pretty? Because you said if we could get him to 20, right, then it would be a special permit, so he'd need.
No,
to
I
It's a variance.
thought so,
Because
but
it's
that's
still
really,
frontage.
yeah.
Still,
Yeah,
it's a
I
variance,
gotcha.
there's no way
Even if
around
we
it.
say the difficulty of the lot is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that should be considered a side lot,
We still
which
can't
I
consider it a
believe
side
is
lot.
reasonable. Legally, it would still have to be a variance.
We have the legal justification, in my opinion, having two frontage, two fronts
Creates a hardship that,
creates the hardship. So I think, in my opinion, that would be legal grounds to justify a variance, but there's no way to get around it. I mean, even if we said, well, we could use it as a side, give them down to 20, special permit, but we can't, because we
Yeah, yeah.
can't just say that's a side,
Yeah.
because I don't know, it is.
I mean, we can do it for decision-making purposes and say, this is why we decided
Yep.
to do it.
But in the end,
reality,
it's still a
it still has to be a
variance,
variance.
and it's gonna
right.
stick with the deed for ever, and dictate any other future.
Right, and that's
Buildings.
why you got to think long and hard about issuing variances.
Yep.
I understand.
So we'll bring this to the audience and see if anyone is in favor or opposition to this application and would like to speak.
I'll make a
none.
motion to close the open hearing. Make a motion to close the public.
A second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Really not sure it's a problematic condition, but it is a variance. And there's certainly not agreement as to the location of the house creating the problem.
Could I add one thing?
Actually, you can't, we closed the
Oh,
public
yeah,
hearing.
never mind. Sorry.
We can reopen it, is it,
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Make a motion to reopen the public hearing.
I'll second the motion.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so I might add, the water main also comes in from the McCormick Street side. So that's why it's gonna be built on footings, and they didn't want a full foundation anyways. So I think down the road, if somebody were thinking like, oh, livable space, da-da-da-da-da, they're gonna see that the water main's right there, and, you know, even if there was a variance issued, they're gonna have to reroute the whole thing to put a foundation in, to put anything with like a second story or a significant, load in that spot. So even if you guys do decide to issue the variance, I don't think down the road that, you know,
It's right over the main.
it's right over the water main, yeah. So it really limits, you know, what could happen in the future.
Advancements.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
that is all.
And I will list that fact under the findings of the decision too, under facts and findings, that there's a water main there. Just point that out.
I have a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll
Second by
second that
Jamie,
motion.
all in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
good point.
I'd say I'd like to see a letter from the neighbors, but the one on the other side of McCormick doesn't appear to be closed at all. I don't think it has much of an impact on them.
No, doesn't seem to.
I mean, the front of the
pretty far
house,
away.
there's space. I mean, aesthetically or not, there's space without any variance. Or permit. Right? I mean, it still make the setbacks. What did it,
Yeah, so vote and see, I don't know, Are there any
Am I
other
right?
concerns, comments, or
Well,
questions?
the only thing I say is like, everything is to that side of the house. So if you are entertaining in your home and you're looking to put that on, you know, that is something to consider,
Aesthetically, I
I
think
know.
it's correct,
Yeah.
and functionally. It's just, are we gonna issue a variance?
Based on aesthetics and functions.
It doesn't,
I don't know.
Legally,
Legally, maybe not, but
they're
functionally.
looking at it though, it's only
taxpayer.
they're only 9 feet in front. Is that 9, is that
No, no.
49? So they only have 9 feet to work with. So it wouldn't make,
Affecting anyone.
if they brought it around the front of the house, oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
they only have 9 feet, because it's 40 feet frontage,
Yeah.
right? 40 feet setback, so they
Well,
wouldn't
they'd
have
have
enough,
14 with the 5,
they wouldn't have enough
to
to
get
fit
the
it in the
special
front.
permit.
And where the road's there, and they're not really affecting the neighbors.
They still wouldn't have enough without a variance, right? You'd still need a variance for the front? Or you need
You would need a special permit on
for
the
the
front.
front, and not a variance?
But they're not
For
building a
12.
farmer's porch, so.
Right.
I don't think they'd want a three-season, and it's off the kitchen, I mean, I totally understand it.
Mm.
Because you said the dining room is in that front left as you're facing?
Yeah, facing from Garrison, the dining room's in the front left, kitchen in the rear left.
It's tricky.
They'll be 18 feet from the road still. How
No,
big is the
Garrison?
existing deck that's there?
The existing deck, I believe, is I think it's 10 by
Oh.
8, so it's coming off towards McCormick, 10 feet.
So it's not coming off much more than the existing
Not
deck is
much
already
more,
there, like
no.
another 2 feet.
Right.
So
So-
yeah,
Coming off 8 feet.
so 4 feet. So the existing deck comes out 8 feet.
Oh, okay.
And the
Oh, it's 8 by 8
proposed
then.
addition is 12 feet. So
Right.
so the existing deck is there that already comes out 8
Right.
feet, so it's just gonna come out another 4 feet.
Right.
I'm just trying to picture it.
So there's existing.
Well, it's a 12 by 24, but you're adding a deck onto that, but they're adding another
It'll just be stairs.
So this is,
3 feet. PT deck on there.
right.
No, the stairs go off the back?
Side of McCormick.
The
On the side
McCormick
of
side,
McCormick, look.
Oh.
So with the, what? With the deck that's there now, it becomes a pre-existing non-conforming lot. It becomes one anyways because of the 30-foot front setback.
But do we count the?
So
and we
if
count
they
the deck?
didn't exceed the deck depth, we could grant a special permit. But that would
They
be
don't-
significantly smaller than what you have now. Is it 8 feet, you think?
Yes.
Yeah, so that would be, if you followed that line, you could get a special permit.
Right.
Because they wouldn't be changing the conformity, they wouldn't be increasing it. They're not increasing, yeah, but that's,
If they
This
stay
is-
on the deck,
yeah, this is what it is right now.
right.
Just this little,
If it doesn't come out any farther than that, then you could, it's a pre-existing non-conforming, you can increase the non-conformity as long as you don't exceed it.
that's the deck.
Well, I understand it may
Yeah.
not be enough, I'm just trying to find a solution that, you know, it's really, I mean, the 12 by 24 is a big room, but 8 by 24 is not gonna do,
It's not the same.
Yeah, that's a long, skinny room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially 24, it's gonna be really thin.
Yeah.
That's called a bowling.
Yeah, right. Good luck putting a table or something out there.
I'm just trying to find a way to make everybody.
No, I understand that. That's much appreciated.
We'll pull up the sketch of the. let's see,
I mean, it looks like 8 is correct, but
Might be on there.
I can't even see the front of the house from Garrison.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
lilac
pull that
bushes
up.
that are,
I'll-
you know,
I'll
10,
have
11
this.
feet tall.
I mean, it goes right up to the, you can't even see the front of the house from Garrison.
No.
Yeah, there's a couple big trees over there too on the corner.
Yep.
Is the public hearing still open?
Huh?
Is the public hearing's closed,
They're
right?
closed.
Right,
Did we close it?
Mm-hmm.
twice. Twice there.
Sorry about that.
And he's still chatting away.
Did you want me to look that over?
So I need to go sit down?
Yeah.
Is that what you guys saying? Okay.
You can
Let me
get
see
one
if I
thing,
can
Garrison,
grab
on
that,
the,
110 Garrison. Here we go. Just pull down, 8 by 8.
8 by 8.
So the current deck is 8 by 8.
9
becoming
Graniteville Road?
So
Oh,
it's,
that's Westford address.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
I
like,
don't wanna whittle their porch down to 8 by 24. I feel like that's just,
No, I appreciate that. I'm just looking for a way to give a special permit as opposed to a variance,
yeah.
which I'm not sure we can justify. So,
who challenges the variance once if, just for instance, if we
If
approve
we
it?
decided to approve this and someone appealed it, it would go to land court.
Okay,
Theoretically, it wouldn't get built for 5 years, so
Okay.
it's a,
It would be in a butter.
right, right.
And a butter would challenge, that's who.
anyone can,
anybody
but a
could
butter
challenge.
would certainly have that right. I could challenge it if I chose, anyone could. It's, if you go to land court, you can appeal the decision regardless if you're in a butter or not. You would certainly have weight as in a butter, but I think anyone can appeal the decision. That sounds like a motion.
Hey, well, since Paul said always make the motion in the affirmative,
Correct.
never do the negative, so I will make a motion to approve the variance under section 195-9 for the 12 by 24 three-season addition for 100 Garrison Road.
110.
110, sorry. I'm reading off this. 110, sorry.
I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Second by Aaron. All in favor? Opposed? Motion does not carry.
Sorry.
We're not happy either, I can tell you. It's hard,
What can I go back to the homeowners with?
I would think your best bet would be to get a special permit, which was not nearly as onerous as a
Right.
variance. What that would limit to them is 8 feet. So maybe you look at some design changes around the back isn't necessarily ideal perhaps, but maybe it offers some opportunity to rethink that. I don't think maybe if you had the entryway come out 8 feet and then the room itself.
Wrap
you can-
around.
That 8 feet is forever, you
Right,
can
right.
continue, so maybe some redesign will give you some ideas.
Okay, so we'll go for a special permit and get the 8 feet on the McCormick side,
And then maybe do
turn
it,
it around the back of the house.
turn it, I mean, keep it on footers, but maybe turn it,
Yeah,
come out 8, and the thing with the variance is, as you know, it stays with the deed.
Right.
And, I mean, the ramifications of a variance and the legalities, like,
Permanent.
it is, and they don't come lightly, and
Yes.
it's just the impact of that, and we're very, it can be profound,
Yeah.
so,
Totally understand.
and we have to be very diligent in when
Right.
when they come up. I mean, unfortunately, so, and they have it in the back. They do, I understand aesthetically, I understand the
Yeah.
flow of the internal of the home, but
Right.
unfortunately, those aren't written considerations in the law.
Right.
I mean, which sucks. I mean, I had to look at that myself when I did a project in my own home, right? I have plenty of land, but where I wanted something, I just, but,
Okay.
so,
Okay, well, thank you for your time.
appreciate it.
Have a good night.
You too.
Okay, how many minutes?
We do have one set of minutes to review. June
Yelled at by
2nd,
Paul
the last time.
I did.
Why?
The one on the agenda
Excuse me.
says draft.
I just
Is
said
that
wrong. I believe it's July that's on the agenda for approval. I have the wrong printout next to me. Let me just go back to that for a second.
Wait a minute, where's our English major? The lawyer's not here, we can't do minutes.
Did you call in?
Hold on just a second.
You
She
guys don't need me
hasn't
to stay
sent
for
in
this minute,
any-
right?
Oh, no, we're gonna
But,
have.
You're good.
so it's July
Go home.
7th. Was she even here July 7th? I
Have a
don't
good
think she
night.
was.
She can
Hi,
still.
Jose.
Good night,
Have a
Jose.
good night.
Let me open that up. I don't think she was here July 7th. Oh,
can
actually,
still-
she was.
She can still proof.
She was.
Yeah, she was.
That's right, yeah.
She's such a good English.
Have people looked at them?
Are they in the,
I
they
will
were in
not
your
look.
email.
They're in your email, they're on the agenda.
I ain't looking at
Oh,
anything
Jules Power,
anymore.
you want this thing? Let's get to that.
We had 2 public hearings that day. 14 Arthur Ave,
Was that the 20-minute meeting we had that day?
yes.
Yeah.
And 79 Mill Road. It was a 20-minute meeting.
I remember that one.
I can zoom in
Just at
if
the
you want to
bottom of
read
the
them on the
agenda.
screen.
What is 19?
Click it.
53?
And say either download,
43.
just click
What's the
view.
password?
Oh,
Oh,
thank you,
oh,
that's
one
why I
second.
was
1655.
See what I know?
Oh, I wasn't there. So I don't have to
You
approve
can look
them?
at the podium, it'll
Or
tell
I
you.
do, no. I don't have to approve them, right?
Nope,
Actually, I don't think you can, you weren't
you
present.
can't.
Can
you
I
weren't
even make a
present.
motion since I wasn't here for half of it?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And you
Well,
weren't
did
here
you
for
read
the
the
other
minutes?
half?
All you're doing is motioning to approve the minutes.
Oh,
You
okay.
can't. You wasn't part of them. You can't motion to approve anything. Or vote on them.
He wasn't here for half of
You
it.
can
Was here
choose
for
to
half of it.
postpone them till next
So
month
he can
until
approve half, I can
Stephen
approve
and
the other
Nancy are
half.
here.
Between us, we have a motion.
And she's not on it.
I wasn't here.
Yeah.
Peter, would you like to make a motion?
Make a motion to approve the meetings
Four
from,
of us do it.
what?
July,
July,
Yeah,
oh, I thought someone
gosh, I
said something.
pulled up the wrong one again. July 7th. One moment,
7th.
please.
July,
The wrong one came up. Hold on just a moment. Sorry about that.
yeah. Says
Oh, I know what I did. I forgot to change the date on the top. How about I edit this, because it looks like I put the wrong date on the top of the document?
so it's
And-
right, it's just the wrong date.
Correct.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because that's
'Cause
the one that
my-
I wasn't at. Yeah,
Yeah.
July.
That's
And,
a correction we can make and still
That's a
approve the
correction, that's
minutes.
true, we can
Still
correct that,
approve it.
because the footer on the document is correct, it says
Right, zoning board of
July
appeals, July
7th.
7th.
So
Yeah.
we'll approve it with the change of the date
Mm-hmm.
in the emotions, and that's that.
We'll make a motion to approve.
Because this says Aaron, oh, no, I'm sorry.
So the-
I wasn't-
Well, I'm just gonna
Oh,
wait
this
till
is
all the
one you
comments are in.
recused yourself from.
It's gonna be a long night.
Peter, Peter's trying to make a motion.
You were here for this one.
We're gonna spend more time in the minutes than we spend in the meeting.
Let's go.
So I make a motion to approve the minutes from July 7th. I've never done it, so.
With the
With the
change
change.
that
Oh,
the date is
with the
corrected.
change. Oh, yes, with the change of the date, at the top of the document.
I second.
Second by Jamie. I can't help it. You look so much like her. You could be his sister. I bet you have similar DNA.
Almost 5 years
All
now.
in favor?
Aye.
Yep, aye.
I knew it. I'm gonna have to introduce you to her so you see
Seriously.
the,
Make a
Jackie
motion
who?
to adjourn.
she's as beautiful as she.
Second,
I make, no need a second. I make a motion
oh
to
yeah,
adjourn.
no need a
Shannon.
second, right.
Second,
Second the motion.
Don't need a
all in
second.
favor?
We don't need-
Aye.
Aye.
You're correct. You don't need a second to adjourn. That is absolutely
True.
right.